Senator Fischer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I am very excited you're holding this hearing today. I'm a rancher. And so I appreciate Senator Duckworth's comments about farming and ranching communities as the backbone and the heart of the state, because that's true in Nebraska as well. So thank you, Senator. And what a great panel we have. Farmers Union, Farm Bureau. I loved your comments, sir, on the RFS and E15. I have some legislation on that, so that's great. I appreciated, Dr. Hill, that you had the opportunity to respond when Senator Wicker asked you to earlier comments made by Senator Booker, so I appreciate that. My husband and I, we do have a cattle ranch. Our sons are fourth-generation Sandhills ranchers. We understand conservation. We understand being true environmentalists. Our family does. Our neighbors in the Sandhills do. Ag producers all across the state of Nebraska do. And ag producers, farmers and ranchers all across the United States understand it. We take care of the land. We live on the land. We want clean air. We want clean water. And we manage our livelihood, our lives, to make sure that we have that and that we continue to preserve it for future generations. I'm going to talk to another rancher now. So, Mr. Hansen, thank you so much for being here. I'd like to build off of Senator Barrasso's comments a little bit, if we can. When you, in your statement, you discussed reporting requirements for animal waste odors under CERCLA and the EPCRA. And with CERCLA reports, those are directed to the National Response Center, and that's operated by the United States Coast Guard. I don't know if people are aware of that. They're used by the federal government to facilitate a government-coordinated emergency response effort to animal waste odors. And to me, this really doesn't make a lot of sense. Not only is there no added value of these reporting requirements, but the abundance of farm reports, that's going to jam up the response personnel at the National Response Center and prevent them from responding, I think, to true emergencies. Mr. Hansen, can you please describe what measures cattle producers would have to take to comply with all of these reporting requirements?
Thank you, Senator. We have no tool. We have no tools to do that, so I can't answer the question. I'm sorry.
So then you can't fill out the report, right?
Pardon?
You can't fill out the report.
Exactly.
Right.
Thank you.
Mr. Duvall and Dr. Hill, you both were talking about privacy concerns with these reports and also concerns with activists coming on to personal private property. Do you have anything to add to comments that you made earlier on that, either one of you?
You know, our farmers and ranchers are in a very difficult economy right now. We don't need to put any burden on them, and this presents a very huge liability issue for them. Farmers and ranchers aren't doing anything wrong out there, but when you give them a tool as far as reporting there, and I would answer the same, we have no way of measuring that. And we'd have to hire some expert, and the government could disagree with the expert and make us hire a different one and spend thousands and thousands of dollars that we can't afford to do in a very bad economy. Even when it's good, we couldn't afford it.
Thank you. Mr. Hansen, you also mentioned in your written testimony the compliance challenges producers face as a result of the Spill Prevention, Control, and Countermeasure, or the SPCC rule for on-farm fuel storage. And while WRDA Act did include a provision that I champion that would provide more flexibility, this overreach continues to weigh heavily on the minds of farmers and ranchers in Nebraska and across our country. As you noted, this rule was originally applied to oil refineries, but now ag producers are being forced to also comply. So what do you believe must be done so that we can alleviate that burden of that SPCC rule for our farmers and ranchers on the fuel storage?
Thank you, Senator. guess I'd have to say we just need to exempt the people out on the ground. It's such a different situation. The risk is minimal compared to what the act is designed to address.
Right, and in the previous administration, there was a study done that we had requested on this committee, and I would just point out that one of the areas studied was a leakage with jet fuel. I don't know too many farms and ranches that have jet fuel there. So I think when you have a flawed study, it leads to flawed policy and flawed decision-making. So I would hope that we could move ahead, not just on the CERCLA rule, but also on the SPCC and another number of rules that are out there that people on the land, everyday producers who are trying to take care of their families, take care of their communities, find such a disadvantage in trying to fight government every single day. Thank you.